Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today we are looking at yet another Pro Football Focus rankings list going into the upcoming 2021 season. By the way, I still don't make these lists. I saw some of you guys in the comments say that you lost me whenever I had so-and-so at this rank. I don't make these lists. This is purely Pro Football Focus, but today it is the top 32 safeties going into the upcoming 2021 season. This should be a pretty fun list. I am excited to see who all is ranked where. But coming in at number 32, you have Jeremy Chinn of the Carolina Panthers. And Jeremy Chinn's one of those guys, we've seen it actually in recent history with a handful of guys. You have linebackers that can play safety. You have safeties that can play linebackers. Jeremy Chinn, he can do it all. So seeing him on this list isn't too surprising. I'm honestly, a little surprised that he isn't ranked a little bit higher. He will, in my opinion, be a problem for a lot of teams for many years to come. I think he will be the star for that Panthers defense for many years to come. So having him at 32 is a little surprising. At number 31, we have Juan Thornhill of the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 30, we have Ronnie Harrison of the Cleveland Browns, formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was traded from Jacksonville to Cleveland. I think it's safe to say that the trade worked out pretty darn well for the Browns. Coming in at number 29, Chuck Clark of the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens are always known for having good safeties. They have been for many, many years now, Chuck Clark being no different. Coming in at number 28, Landon Collins of the Washington football team. And I actually have a fun, interesting story about my, love for Landon Collins, if you will. So I was a senior in high school whenever the 2015 draft took place, the one that had Jameis Winston, Donovan Smith, Ali Marpet, So I remember I was on a bus. We were taking a school trip, one of our last school trips of the year. In fact, probably the last school trip of the year before I graduated high school. And I remember in the first round, I was able to watch that here in my home, but in the second round, I had to watch it on the bus ride to where we were going for this school trip. And the New York Giants had the pick before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the second round. They took Landon Collins, and I remember I audibly yelled on the bus. Everybody turned around and looked at me like I was crazy, and even my buddy Logan, who's been on the channel here before, sitting next to me, he nudged me and told me to shut up because I was freaking out too much. But that's how much I wanted Landon Collins on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, obviously, their pick worked out pretty darn well for them, that being Donovan Smith, but Landon Collins will always have a soft spot in my heart, and it's cool to see him on this list with the Washington football team, and yeah, I did want him on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 2015. Number 27, Keshawn Gibson Sr. of the Chicago Bears, another interesting player on this list. He's been a veteran for many years in the league, and I think that it's not even a crazy thing to say that he's underrated in the league. So cool of him to get on this list here, coming in at number 27. Number 26, we have Jabril Peppers of the New York Giants, another safety I'm actually a pretty big fan of. I remember I actually argued with a couple of friends of mine. I thought that Jabril Peppers was going to be a pretty decent safety for the Cleveland Browns. My friend, in fact, it was Logan again. Shout out to you, Logan. You're getting multiple shout outs in this video. But Logan had told me, he said, James, Jabril Peppers is going to be a bust. I feel it. He went to school at Ohio State, Jabril Peppers being from Michigan. The rivalry's always there, but he was kind of right. Jabril Peppers with the Cleveland Browns did not go well, but he has now found his calling with the New York Giants. He has been very good for the New York Giants. So, the Cleveland Browns trades taketh, the Cleveland Browns trades giveth away. They got Ronnie Harrison, who was ranked earlier on in this list, but they gave up Jabril Peppers, who was ranked above Ronnie Harrison. So, hey, shout out to the Giants, shout out to Jabril Peppers. Coming in at number 25, we have Justin Reed of the Houston Texans. Good young safety for that team there, who, quite frankly, they need all the good young players that they can get. Number 24, Kerry Willis of the Indianapolis Colts. Again, I love what Chris Ballard does as the GM of that team. He has just been a phenomenal roster builder. Coming in at number 23, Eddie Jackson of the Chicago Bears. Pretty interesting to see Eddie Jackson ranked all the way down here. I remember just a couple of years ago, Eddie Jackson was, potentially a top 10 safety in this league, so he still is relatively young. He's in his mid-20s, and he does have time to rebound, hop back up on this list come next year's rankings. Coming in at number 22, Devin Mccourty of the New England Patriots. Again, another guy who's been a top 10 safety for many years of his career, but he is getting to the end of that career, so shout out to him for being almost 34 years old according to the paragraph here and still being ranked number 22. That's pretty cool. And then number 21, we have Antoine Winfield Jr. of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's go ahead and read this paragraph. Another rookie who was far from overawed by the step up to the NFL, Antoine Winfield Jr. was a significant role player in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl campaign. Correction, Pro Football Focus, he was a significant starter in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl campaign. It's okay, I can correct it for you. He earned a Pro Football Focus run defense grade of 85.4, making some plays that caused flashbacks to the way his father played the run with the Minnesota Vikings years ago. Shout out to my friend Danny, by the way, who is a big Antoine Winfield Sr. and Antoine Winfield Jr. fan. We all love Antoine Winfield Jr. Friend Billy from O and the C, he has dubbed him A&W. I think that's a very awesome nickname, but, Antoine, he's great. He's awesome. He was everything that everybody wanted him to be, and then some in his rookie season. Everybody thought that was first-round grade value when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stole him in round number 2, and so far he's been exactly as advertised. Of course, it helps that he has a legendary secondary player like his father, basically coaching him every single day. So, hey, awesome to have him at number 21. Does he deserve a little bit higher? Be a little bit higher? Well, let's go ahead and see who is ranked above him. So, number 20, we have Carmen Curl of the Washington football team, a 7th round draft pick rookie. I'll leave that for what it is. He is a good young safety, and we will talk about that in a little bit. I do think Antoine Winfield Jr. should have been above him. So, Carmen Curl, overall, still a solid safety, but I think Antoine Winfield Jr. should have been a step above. At number 19, we have Jimmy Ward of the San Francisco 49ers. At number 18, we have Darnell Savage of the Green Bay Packers. Number 17, Kareem Jackson of the Denver Broncos. Number 16, Budda Baker of the Arizona Cardinals. Interesting thing about Budda Baker, that's a tongue twister, but interesting thing about Budda Baker is I actually got the chance to see him play live a couple of years ago in a Tampa Bay Buccaneers home regular season game, and he's a beast. He's just an absolute beast. He's just so good. That's all I can say about Budda Baker. He really is just a phenomenal player. I think 16 is too low of a ranking for Budda Baker, in my opinion. I think he's one of the top safeties in the entire league. But let's see who is ranked above him. At number 15, we have Jordan Poyer of the Buffalo Bills. He's been solid since he has joined Buffalo, so good job for him. Micah Hyde of the Buffalo Bills coming in at number 14. Again, another solid safety, so shout out to Micah Hyde, formerly of the Green Bay Packers. He's one of those guys who really rejuvenated his career in Buffalo. Same thing can be said for Jordan Poyer as well. Number 13, Anthony Harris of the Philadelphia Eagles, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings. Number 12, Kevin Byard of the Tennessee Titans. Shout out to him. He's been a productive young safety for a handful of years in the league now. Number 11, Tyron Matthew of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is another interesting ranking because when I think of Tyron Matthew, I always think of him as one of the top safeties in the league. So to have him at number 11, that's another interesting ranking. Number 10, Jamal Adams of the Seattle Seahawks. Number 9, Adrian Amos of the Green Bay Packers. Number 8, Jesse Bates III of the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 7, Marcus May of the New York Jets. Number 6, Derwin James of the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 5, Minkah Fitzpatrick of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 4, Marcus Williams of the New Orleans Saints. Number 3, John Johnson III of the Cleveland Browns. He was very good for, I believe it was the Rams. I believe he actually just joined the Cleveland Browns this, most recent offseason. And if you remember, I believe he picked off Tom Brady a couple of times, which is no easy feat. So good job to John Johnson there. Number 2, Harrison Smith of the Minnesota Vikings. Then number 1, Justin Simmons of the Denver Broncos. So really, overall, I don't think I disagree with number 1 and number 2. I don't think I disagree with that. Both those safeties are absolutely phenomenal. But I look at some of these other rankings, and I'm a little perplexed. I mean, Derwin James, going into this upcoming season, yeah, you assume that he's going to be good, but he also might be an absolute wild card. He's had tons of injury problems. Even more so than, say, Vita Vea. And a lot of people used to give Vita Vea crap about his injuries, and Derwin James has been hurt more. We're not going to get into that debate in this video because we could be here for many, many hours. But Derwin James coming in at number 6, I don't know if I would agree with that. Honestly, I would bump Tyron Matthew up to, say, probably the top 7. I would probably also bump up Budda Baker to, say, probably the top 7. Those two rankings are a little questionable in my opinion. In regards to Antoine Winfield Jr., I would have him at least number 19. I'd have him above Carmen Curl and Jimmy Ward. Honestly, I would probably put him all the way up at number 17. Kareem Jackson, Darnell Savage, both very good players in their own rights, but I would have Antoine Winfield Jr. probably as high up as 17. If you want to keep the rest of the rankings above that, I don't think Antoine Winfield Jr. is above Budda Baker. I don't believe he's above probably a lot of these guys. So overall, those are kind of my thoughts. I'd bump up Tyron Matthew. I would definitely bump up Budda Baker, and I would bump up Antoine Winfield Jr. as well. But what are your guys' thoughts about this list? Leave me your thoughts down in the comments section below. We still have a few more of these lists to go through, and I've had a lot of fun making this content. I hope you guys have enjoyed as well. It's been great discussion. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.